In a world intoxicated by noise, where every voice competes for attention and every opinion fights to be heard, silence has become the rarest form of power. The one who learns to wield it does not simply withdraw from the crowd, he rises above it. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. It is not the absence of words, but the presence of control. When you choose silence, you deny others the map to your thoughts. You become unreadable, unpredictable, and therefore untouchable. Most people believe power comes from speech, from persuasion, debate, or influence through language. They rush to speak, to explain, to prove, but in doing so, they expose themselves. Every word they utter becomes a thread that others can pull to unravel their intentions. The loud man seeks validation. The silent man commands curiosity. The one who speaks less forces others to wonder. What is he thinking? What will he do next? What lies behind that calm expression? It is in that uncertainty that power is born. Silence bends the room toward you. When others fill the air with words, you listen. You let their impatience reveal their motives, their ego expose their weakness. Every pause you take is a mirror that reflects the insecurities of others. They mistake your restraint for ignorance, yet it is observation. They assume your stillness means surrender, yet it is calculation. The wise do not rush to speak. They let silence gather weight until their single sentence carries the force of 1,000 speeches. In silence, you learn the true rhythm of influence. The world does not reward noise, it rewards results. The silent one acts while others discuss. He plans while others boast. He strikes when the moment demands, not when emotion tempts. Words are wind, silence is gravity. It draws others toward you without demand, without plea, without performance. People trust silence more than speech because it cannot be faked. It reflects composure, mastery, and hidden depth. Silence is also a shield. When you withhold your emotions and opinions, you protect your mind from invasion. No one can twist your words if you do not offer them. No one can predict your next move if you leave no trace of your intention. In silence, you keep your plans sacred. You preserve your energy for action, not argument. The loud ones exhaust themselves defending their noise. The quiet one conserves his power for decisive moments. It takes discipline to remain silent when provoked. The weak lash out to prove they are not afraid. The strong remain composed because they have nothing to prove. Silence unsettles those who rely on reaction. It breaks the rhythm of conflict, turning chaos into clarity. When others argue, you watch. When they insult, you smile. When they demand your response, you give them none. This is not passivity. It is dominance through patience. The greatest control is not over others, but over oneself. Those who understand silence understand timing. They know that every word must earn its place. They speak only when silence has achieved its purpose, when the room is ready to receive their voice. And when they finally speak, their words echo, because silence has made people hungry for them. The difference between the average man and the powerful one is not intelligence or skill, it is restraint. The powerful man uses speech like a blade, sharp, deliberate, and only when necessary. Silence also refines perception. When you speak less, you hear more. You start to detect the tone beneath the words, the fear behind the confidence, the truth buried under performance. Most people listen to reply. The wise listen to understand. Through silence, you sharpen your awareness of others and dull their awareness of you. You gather information while giving none. You become a mystery among open books. In leadership, silence builds authority. The followers of a quiet leader feel the weight of his presence without explanation. They do not need him to announce his strength. They sense it. His pauses command more respect than another's speeches. His calm in uncertainty steadies the fearful and humbles the arrogant. When he finally speaks, his words are obeyed not because they are loud, but because they are rare. In strategy, silence is the pause before the strike. It is the stillness that hides preparation, the quiet that conceals momentum. The hunter moves silently before the leap. The wise man acts silently before success. If you must achieve something great, let your silence build suspense around your work. Speak of your vision only when it has become reality. Let others wonder how you did it while you stand quietly among their questions. Silence tests your ego. It teaches you that not every insult deserves an answer. Not every rumor requires defense. Not every challenge needs confrontation. By holding your tongue, you detach from the noise that distracts others. You become indifferent to approval, immune to provocation. This is not weakness. It is liberation. It is the moment when you stop reacting to the world and start shaping it. True silence is not empty. It is filled with intention. It carries unseen strength, unseen wisdom, unseen preparation. It allows you to control the pace of every encounter, to command without shouting, to influence without arguing. Those who underestimate silence are ruled by emotion. Those who master it are ruled by vision. And though they may appear still, beneath their calm lies the quiet storm of purpose. Waiting for the perfect moment to move the mind is a powerful tool, but when left unchecked, it becomes a prison. The act of overthinking is not a sign of intelligence. It is a symptom of fear. It is the hesitation between knowing and doing, the endless circling of thought that kills action before it begins. The one who overthinks never truly lives in the present moment. He lives in imagined futures and replayed pasts. He becomes a strategist with no army, a dreamer with no deeds. In the realm of strength, hesitation is defeat before battle even begins. To think is necessary. To think too much is fatal. The world does not reward ideas that stay locked inside the mind. It rewards those who have the courage to act on imperfect plans. Overthinking disguises itself as preparation, but it is often paralysis. The more one contemplates every possibility, the less capable one becomes of moving forward. 1,000 calculations cannot replace one decisive step. Action, even if flawed, can be corrected. Inaction corrects nothing. The weak drown in thought because they seek certainty. They want every outcome to be predictable, every risk to be removed. But the world is ruled by uncertainty. Strength belongs to those who embrace it. To act in uncertainty is to declare mastery over fear. To overthink is to declare surrender to it. Every hesitation gives space for opportunity to fade, for courage to decay, and for others to seize what you only imagined. Overthinking is also a subtle form of ego. The one who overthinks believes his mind can control every variable, that he can predict every move before it happens. But the world does not obey our calculations. It rewards adaptability, not perfection. The thinker who demands flawless timing will never act, while the one who adapts mid-action will always advance. Power belongs to motion, not to contemplation. The greatest strategies are born from experience, not theory. The one who acts learns truths the thinker can never reach. Action exposes you to risk, but it also exposes you to wisdom. Every mistake becomes a teacher, every challenge a sharpening stone. Overthinking shields you from mistakes, but in doing so, it shields you from growth. The man who fears error ends up fearing progress. He polishes his plans until they gleam, only to discover that the moment to execute has already passed. When the mind is consumed with overthinking, it becomes divided. It loses its unity of purpose. One voice says go, another says wait, another whispers fear, and another argues for safety. In this inner debate, strength dissolves. The decisive man, by contrast, silences these voices. He makes a choice, and by making it, he makes himself whole. He understands that clarity is born from movement, not from endless thought. The more you act, the clearer your path becomes. The more you think without action, the darker your path grows. Overthinking weakens instinct. Instinct is the purest form of intelligence. It is knowledge shaped by experience and sharpened by intuition. But the overthinker distrusts instinct. He replaces it with analysis, drowning natural insight in layers of doubt. The more he questions his gut, the less he hears it. Eventually, he becomes a stranger to himself. The strong, however, train their instincts through repetition, observation, and courage. They trust their inner compass because they have tested it in battle, not because they have theorized about it in silence. The habit of overthinking also kills momentum. Every great endeavor depends on momentum, a continuous rhythm of effort, progress, and correction. Once that rhythm breaks, hesitation creeps in and energy fades. Overthinkers delay their rise by questioning every step they take. They wonder if they are ready, if the timing is right, if they have enough knowledge. But readiness is never found in thought. It is forged in action. The moment you begin, you start to gather the strength you thought you lacked. The world moves faster than thought. Opportunities appear and vanish in the blink of an eye. While the overthinker is still debating possibilities, the decisive man has already acted, adjusted, and advanced. The overthinker sees every flaw in his plan. The doer sees every chance in his reach. The difference between them is not intelligence, but decisiveness. The doer lives by results. The thinker lives by regrets. Overthinking also feeds doubt, and doubt is poison to authority. No one follows a hesitant mind. The leader who second, guesses his choices, infects his followers with fear. His uncertainty spreads like smoke, clouding every decision. But when a leader acts with conviction, even imperfectly, his certainty becomes contagious. Others align to his rhythm, and the momentum he creates carries them forward. Power is never found in endless questioning. It is found in unshakable direction. The habit of overthinking is often born from fear of judgment. The weak man imagines the opinions of others and lets them dictate his every move. He rehearses how he will be seen, what he will be called, whether he will be praised or blamed. But those who move with purpose understand that the judgment of others is a fleeting shadow. The only true failure is hesitation. History does not remember the one who considered acting. It remembers the one who acted. Overthinking blinds you to simplicity. The mind tangled in analysis begins to complicate even the obvious. It turns a single step into a maze of possibilities. But strength is found in clarity, and clarity is born from action. The strong man cuts through confusion with decision. He accepts that every path has risk, and that no path can be fully known before it is walked. He moves because movement itself reveals what the mind cannot. To stop overthinking is not to stop thinking. It is to think with purpose. It is to allow thought to serve action, not to replace it. The disciplined mind does not dwell, it decides. It gathers information, makes its judgment, and moves forward without regret. The moment of decision is the moment of liberation, for it breaks the chains of hesitation and transforms uncertainty into power. The mind that can decide quickly and clearly becomes the mind that commands every word you speak, is a fragment of yourself sent into the world, a trace of your mind exposed to those who listen. The more you speak, the more you reveal, and the more you reveal, the less power you hold. Words are windows into thought, and through them, others can see your fears, your desires, your limits. The illusion of strength often hides in loudness, but real strength hides in silence. The one who speaks endlessly believes he commands attention, yet he only exposes his weakness, the need to be heard, the need to be understood, the need to be approved. Power does not explain itself. Power does not beg to be recognized. It simply exists, unbothered by noise. Speech, when uncontrolled, becomes surrender. It gives away the secrets that silence would have protected. Every careless sentence is a weapon handed to someone else. When you speak too much, you surrender your mystery. You become predictable, readable, easy to manipulate. Others will take your words and twist them into chains to bind you. They will learn what provokes you, what flatters you, what makes you doubt yourself. They will study your tone and use it against you. To guard your strength, you must guard your tongue. The tongue is the most dangerous instrument of weakness because it moves faster than thought. In anger, it betrays you. In excitement, it exposes you. In fear, it confesses. Words once spoken cannot be retrieved. They live in the minds of others, shaping their perception of you. The disciplined learn to pause before speaking, to weigh every word as if it costs them something valuable, because it does. Each unnecessary word is a coin of power spent for nothing in return. The strong conserve their speech the way the wise conserve gold. People often mistake talk for influence. They think persuasion comes from speech alone, that to dominate a room, one must fill it with sound. But true influence comes not from talking the most, but from speaking the least and making each word unignorable. When you speak less, others lean closer. They hang on to your sentences because they know you do not waste them. The fewer words you use, the heavier they become. The listener begins to measure your silence as much as your speech. You control their attention not by demanding it, but by earning it through restraint. Speech can also betray your intent long before you act. The one who announces his plans aloud weakens his impact. He gives others time to react, resist, or ruin what he has not yet accomplished. The wise build in private and reveal only in triumph. Talking about your goals before achieving them is like releasing your strategy to the enemy before battle. Silence protects potential. Speech dissipates it. The moment you speak of what you will do, you divide your focus between doing and proving. Action speaks once and ends the debate. Speech invites endless interpretation. There is also surrender in emotional speech. The one who cannot control his words cannot control his emotions. When anger takes your tongue, you confess your vulnerability. When fear makes you explain yourself, you expose your uncertainty. When pride drives you to boast, you announce your insecurity. The strong understand that emotion must serve purpose, not dominate it. They channel their passion into movement, not into words. A single act of quiet resolve outweighs 1,000 loud promises. Speech is often a way of seeking comfort. People talk because silence makes them uneasy. They speak to fill the space, to avoid confronting their own thoughts. But in doing so, they lose the power that stillness offers. The one who cannot sit in silence with his mind will forever seek validation through speech. To speak less is to confront yourself, to face your fears without the disguise of words. It is a discipline that separates the self-assured from the desperate. The true test of power is composure under pressure. In moments of confrontation, most people rush to defend themselves. They explain, argue, justify. They think that by clarifying, they will preserve their dignity. But defense is the language of the weak. The strong do not explain, they demonstrate. Every word spoken in defense confirms that the accusation has power. Silence, on the other hand, absorbs attack and turns it into doubt. When you refuse to react, your enemy begins to question whether he ever had an effect on you at all. In negotiation, speech can be fatal. The one who talks more reveals his boundaries first. He exposes what he wants, what he fears to lose, and where he will compromise. The silent observer, meanwhile, gathers intelligence. He listens until the other side has built their own cage of words. Then, with a single phrase, he closes the door. In every exchange, the one who speaks least learns the most. The one who speaks most gives away the most. Words should never be thrown into the air. They should be released like arrows, deliberate and precise. Speech is also a mirror of discipline. The disciplined speak only when words will move something, an outcome, a perception, a decision. Idle talk is a drain of energy. Those who constantly explain themselves, who need to be understood or liked, waste the force that could have been used for creation. Every moment spent justifying yourself is a moment lost from shaping reality. The powerful understand that approval is irrelevant when results speak in their place. When you master speech, you master perception. The silence between your words becomes your language. You can make others uneasy by saying little, force them to reveal more than they intended by offering them nothing to react to. People rush to fill silence with truth. The more you listen, the more they confess. By saying less, you make others say too much, and in their flood of speech, they hand you the map of their mind. Every conversation is an exchange of power. The question is who gives and who takes. The one who controls speech controls the exchange. If your words are too quick, too frequent, you spend your strength trying to be understood. But if you hold your speech, you make others work to understand you. They project their thoughts into your silence, giving you control without effort. Silence, then, becomes not a void, but a throne from which power observes without revealing itself. True strength is not found in how much one knows, speaks, or shows. It is forged in restraint, in silence, and in unwavering focus. The powerful do not seek validation from noise or comfort from confusion. They cultivate control in a world addicted to chaos. They think only as much as needed to act decisively. They speak only when their words carry weight, and they focus so completely that distractions dissolve before their will. The essence of strength is discipline, the mastery of self before the mastery of anything else. To think less is to clear the fog of hesitation. To talk less is to guard the power of intention. To focus more is to concentrate all inner energy into purpose. The one who governs his mind, his tongue, and his attention rules not only himself, but the world around him. In silence he learns, in restraint he sharpens, in focus he ascends, and when he moves, the world moves with him.